As you know, or may not know, Adrienne has a legal background, and we talked about some of the excuses that are coming from Republicans, both Republican voters, but also Republican lawmakers, including this idea that if Kavanaugh did do this when he was 17, the attempted rape allegations, if he did actually do this, is it really that big of a deal because he was 17 at the time and people are able to change? And the argument that I've been making on the main show is that, well, look, if he's doing something like, let's say, using drugs or shoplifting, yes, I think that people do have the ability to change. They grow, they mature, and it would be unfair to hold those things against them because there is the ability to mature. But when it comes to something like attempted rape, I see that as something different. I think that that says something about your character. And so when I brought that up over the break, you added your legal expertise to that. So I wanted you to share that with our audience as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, as you kind of pointed out, this isn't a crime that's like car auto theft or something. It's the way they classify crimes in kind of this old world legal sense in its origins are you have male in se and male prohibitum. Male in se, those are ones that by their very nature, they are against natural law, like murder, rape, things you instinctively, inherently know to be wrong. And then there are the male prohibitum things, which are just like don't smoke weed, you know, prostitution, anything that is just illegal because the government largely says we shouldn't do this. Don't drive over the speed limit, you know, as opposed to things that are innately wrong by human nature standards. And rape is one of those where people know it's wrong and it goes against all sense of your being as a human being to force yourself onto and into someone else. And so that's the biggest issue here as far as I'm concerned, because again, you're not stealing a car, you're violating the laws of nature and forcing yourself on someone for whatever kind of gratification that you want.
Yes, so there is a difference in terms of a legal standard and also obviously based on just human perception. You know, it was my human perception to think attempted rape is different from breaking other laws. And I guess there are legal standards for that as well. And that's good to know.
And there was actually a time in our country, the Supreme Court had ended up saying you can't do it, but where they were giving the death penalty for rape, which says innately how bad we think it is of a crime. And the Supreme Court ultimately went away where they said, no, you can't kill people for rape anymore. We're not going to do that. But it still speaks to the origins of the fact that we've known this to be something really bad since the origin of mankind.
Exactly.
So for people to kind of just say, oh, he was 17, it's like, oh, he was a human being. He knew instinctively that this is wrong.
Exactly. And by the way, if Kavanaugh were a Democrat, if he were a progressive, and these accusations came out against him, don't want him confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. For me, of course I care about politics, but when it comes to something like this, you have to put politics aside.
Yes.
And so whether it is a Republican administration or a Democratic administration, you have to do the right thing because again, if it is proven that he has done this, okay, and he is confirmed as a Supreme Court justice, he is going to make decisions. He is going to hand down decisions that affect the lives of everyone, not just women, everyone in the country. Yeah. And that is terrifying. It's a scary thing to think about.
Absolutely.
And I just, he says he wants a fair hearing. He said that dozens of times during his interview with Fox News. I do not believe that this has been a fair hearing so far. They are treating Dr. Blasey Ford as if she's on trial when in reality, Brett Kavanaugh is being interviewed for one of the most important jobs in the country. They are employing a prosecutor to carry out the line of questioning. They are using these ridiculous 5-minute intervals to carry out the line of questioning. And I don't think that that's a fair way or even the most effective way to get to the bottom of the truth. They're refusing an FBI investigation, which would provide a more extensive background check on Kavanaugh and possibly get to the bottom of the truth. It's frustrating to see how this is playing out. This is not a fair hearing, no. But even given the significant obstacles that Dr. Blasey Ford is dealing with here, I think that her testimony has been powerful, and I think that Republicans are very much concerned about how this is coming off.
Yep, I think I kind of got the sense that there is really no doubt in whether or not she's telling the truth.
Right.
And so otherwise, you'd want to do more of an investigation so we could find evidence to discredit her. And the fact that they don't even want to do the FBI investigation, it just speaks volumes.
It does.
Otherwise, you'd be okay with what you found. And I don't think they'd be okay.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.